begin to ask yourself so that you can begin to embrace life at a different level in 2023. You must make a decision to walk away from everything that is threatening your wholeness. A lot of people say, oh, Jamelle, that sounds good, but it's easier said than done. And one of the things that I tell people all the time is that you have to decide what you want. Do you want captivity or do you want freedom? Do you want breakthroughs? Do you want bondage? Do you want limitations or do you want liberation? You determine what you want. And when you want something different, you'll pursue something different. And your pursuits are prophetically seeing what's possible for your life in every regard. And so there are a lot of people that say, I want to change, I want to do X, Y, Z, but I don't see any pursuit of that. And anything that you are not pursuing, you are not going to see manifest in your life. And so I want us to understand we got to walk away from the things that threaten our wholeness. If it's relationships, cut it off. If it's mindsets, cut it off. If it's limiting beliefs, get rid of it. If it's psychological constructs, get rid of it. Whatever it is that is holding you back, if it's fear, insecurity, inferiority complex, identity crisis, I could name a whole plethora of things that it could be. But whatever that thing is in your life, I want you to identify it, and I want you to eliminate the threats to your wholeness in 2023. I want you to understand that a new year with the same recycled thought patterns and processes will only produce stagnation, frustration, and regret. Let me say that again. A new year with the same recycled thought patterns and processes will only produce stagnation, frustration, and regret. And so most people are living their lives on repeat. Most people are not living their lives in creation mode because they are just repeating the same cycles, and every year becomes a repeat of the year before. They don't have clearly defined goals. They don't have a vision. They carry the same toxic thoughts and emotions into every year. They have the same habits and patterns, and nothing is changing, and you are just becoming more frustrated with your life, and that frustration grows into full-blown regret, which is something that nobody wants to experience in their lives. What I've discovered is that some things must be abandoned in order to advance your life. In the previous episode, we talked extensively about setting goals. We talked about how goal setting is so important, and it is important because it provides both direction and focus for our lives. And so before you do anything, we got people making mantras. We got people creating TikToks and videos about how this is their year, and they don't even have goals and a vision. And so the first thing that we talked about in the first episode we talked about responsibility. Last week we talked about goals. And this show, we're going to go a little further, but it's so important that you have goals. And as I told you, you can't just have your goals in your head. You got to get those goals out of your head, get them onto paper, because what you document, you get done, and what you are willing to commit to paper, you begin to set success in motion for it to become a reality in your life. And so I want you to write your goals down, get them out of your head, get them onto paper so that you can see them and have a visual of them on a consistent basis. In other words, goals determine what you concentrate on and what we move towards in our lives. Let me say that again. Goals determine what we concentrate on and what we move towards in our lives. The absence of goals will result in the absence of progress. Let me say that again. The absence of goals will result in the absence of progress. So a lot of people come to me and they say, Jamelle, I don't understand why my life is not moving or progressing. I'm not getting to the next level. I'm not experiencing the breakthroughs and the successes that I want to see. And the reality of the situation is you're not going to see results. You're not going to see progress if you don't have goals and a clearly defined vision for your life. The scriptures say that where there is no vision, where there is no prophetic utterance, the people cast off restraints and run wild. The problem with the world is not that you are a victim of circumstances or a product of your environment. What we have is a generation with no vision. And it's so important that you take the time to get your vision clear and to set the goals of where you want to go with your life. Make sure that you take the time to write and to clarify your goals. For the sake of time, I won't go into what I mean by clarification of goals because I did a whole episode on it last week. So go back to part 2 of this series where I delve deeply into goal setting and what you need to do to establish the right kind of goals in your life, I want you to make sure that you get really clear about your goals, because clarity is a powerful catalyst for creation. Write that down. Clarity is a powerful catalyst for creation. And if you listen to this show regularly, you know, last year I did a 30-day clarity detox. I kind of cut some things with social media and other things and just kind of settled myself, got quiet, and got some clarity in some areas of my life. It 10x my productivity. It 10x my results. It 10x my thinking. It took everything about my life to another level. And so I know that clarity is powerful, and the more clarity you have, the more you're empowered to create the breakthroughs and the things that you want to see. You will waste moments, squander opportunities, and abort your potential without goals. When you don't have goals and a vision for your life, you always become the victim of somebody else's goals and vision. And so people that don't have a vision for their life, they're going to always be working in somebody else's vision, helping somebody else fulfill a vision. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that, but I am saying that you still need to have goals and a vision for your own life, and that you don't just get consumed your entire existence with fulfilling other people's vision and then get to a place in your life where you have regrets and dissatisfaction because you never really did any of the things that you wanted to do with your own life. Your goals are what ultimately determine the route and the results that you experience in your life. Let me say that again. Your goals are what ultimately determine the route and the results that you experience in your life. So route deals again with the direction your life is taking. Results deal with your productivity. And so if you don't have goals, you're not going to have direction or productivity in your life. And without those two pillars, you're not going to create a life of success. And so if people are saying this is going to be my year, every year they say it's going to be their year, and it's never their year because they don't have goals. And so they have nothing they're aiming towards. They have no productivity in their lives, and they think they're going to be successful. It's not just going to happen by osmosis or going to float out of thin air. This is something that you're going to have to intentionally create for your life if you want to be successful. And so I think that it's so vitally important that you understand this and that you make it an applicable principle and law for your life. So let's get into this today. Pillar number 3, you have got to become a person of action. Write that down. You have got to become a person of action. So many people want to know the key to success, prosperity, greatness, possibilities, excellence, and let me tell you, it starts with becoming a person of action. What I know to be true is that the difference in seasons are the disciplines you live by and the actions you take. Write that down. The difference in seasons are the disciplines you live by and the actions you take. Disciplines deal with the habits that you live by. So I want you to take a moment and examine what are your habits. There are good habits and there are bad habits. Unfortunately, most people have more bad habits than good habits. What I have done and what has been the difference maker in my life is that I have converted bad habits into good habits. I have replaced the bad habits in my life with good habits that have produced success and prosperity and consistent results in my life. And so, like I tell people, a lot of us have really bad habits. We binge watch Netflix for 8 hours. We don't get enough sleep. We don't exercise. We don't eat right. We spend every weekend out with the friends, hanging out, having a good time, come home every day. We never give we work 8 hours on a job. We give 40 hours a week to an employer, and we give 0 hours to our goals or vision every year, but we want to be successful. And so what I'm telling you is that a lot of our habits do not support or facilitate the life of our dreams. And so what are you going to do differently in terms of your habits? Because I believe that your habits and your disciplines determine the rhythm of your life. Write that down. Your habits or your disciplines determine the rhythm of your life. And so many people are out of sync in their lives. Everything is out of rhythm because they don't have the right routines in place. And so I want you to seriously examine your routines and see if it really supports the life